Welcome everybody to our Lady of Mount Carmel kitchen tonight for our cooking show and our live stream 50/50 raffle. Should be a fun little evening with 4 delectable delights for our tasting, and then somebody's going to be a lucky winner of almost just over $1,700 at the end of the show. So welcome. We have some celebrity diners with us tonight. Over here on the far side near the window is Lieutenant Quent Dickman, United States Navy. Known Quent forever. I baptized him. He was my altar server, MC here. I went to his graduation at Villanova, and I got a great story for you about that. And now he was, for 3 years, he was in Honolulu on the USN Tucson, a nuclear submarine, an officer. Now he works in Washington, D.C. In the Navy. So welcome. Good to have you here.
Thanks,
and of course, Father Steve Celopini, you know him. He's been here before, pastor of St. Catherine's in Little Compton. Plus, every Saturday night, he says Mass at the Navy base here for all the troops there. So he gives a great service for those men and women who are come to Mass there. So we thank both of them for their service and thank both of them for being here this evening. So welcome, enjoy, enjoy. So we have 4 things tonight. The first thing I'm going to do is a deconstructed macaroni and meatballs. Usually when you have macaroni and meatballs, you have the macaroni and meatballs on top. This way it's completely different. The meatball is surrounding the macaroni. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. The first thing I got to get going is the pasta. Now, you know I make my own pasta, and you've seen that before on our Philips machine. So I did a whole bunch of pasta yesterday. This is a rigatoni, and don't want to splash on you guys. It'll go right in there. And since it's fresh but frozen, it takes about 4 or 5 minutes to cook, and that'll be just enough time for us to put everything else together. So then what I do is make a meatloaf mixture. Now you might have your own meatloaf mixture, a meatball mixture. This is ground pork, ground sirloin, and ground veal. It's got parsley, you got garlic in there, you got breadcrumbs, 2 eggs, onions, and basil, and a little Parmigiano Reggiano. So I mix that all together on my fancy dancy KitchenAid mixer there, so it's all ready to go. And then what you need is a Springform pan. Now, and a sheet pan, which I know Quent now has in his apartment because he didn't have it when he was in Hawaii, and I had to cook dinner for him and his officers. But he told me he had one. But anyways, so this is a Springform pan. It comes apart, and that's how you get the either cake or here the deconstructed macaroni meatball out, and it just clips together. And then you need a little parchment paper that you already cut out in a circle. It fits right in there perfectly, huh? I cut that out rather perfectly, I think. Yeah, cool. And then what you want to do is you want to put a little olive oil on the parchment paper itself and on the sides. So this helps when you finally take the whole thing out. Cool. All right, that's probably enough. And then prosciutto di Parma. So let me see how my macaroni's going. Prosciutto di Parma. And by the way, I always said this is a BYOB event, and I forgot to mix my drink. Uh-oh. But I will do that shortly. So you get the prosciutto di Parma, and what you want to do is line the bottom of the pan, because what's going to happen is the bottom is going to be the top. So you get the prosciutto out. Luckily, this one comes with a nice plastic that separates it very nicely. And you're going to put it in the pan. And you can do all kinds of fancy decorations. I just kind of put like a cross, of course, in the center. And then you kind of just make it like a little pinwheel. Can you get that far? I think my hand was in your way there. You kind of keep going it just like that. There's about 9 slices of prosciutto here. So that's how many we'll use. Very good. The pasta is just boiling over there, but it should be fine. We'll survive. And really, any kind of prosciutto is good. Prosciutto di Parma is, of course, wonderful, but the Daniello variety, or perhaps you cure your own prosciutto, and that's fine as well. And there we go with the pasta again. And be careful there, Father. Thank you. Appreciate that. You know, many of these cooking shows have their own little kitchen staff, and I just have me, Father Steve, and whoever my celebrity diners are to
keep an
eye on things. So, anyway, so this is all now in there. Get the last piece. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take about 3/4 of the meatloaf mix. Now, of course, you want to make sure your hands are impeccably clean, which I did before we came online. And you're going to press it into the pan. So you're going to make it like a pie crust. And it's going to go all the way up the side. I think there's a pasta dough, maybe Father Filippini knows, a pasta frole that's a pie dough that you actually push into the pan and rather than just roll the crust out. So you can see all the onions in there, and then you can see the parsley and everything like that. I'm going to take a little more of the meat because I want it up the sides. And luckily, it's relatively easy to do. I mean, just when you push it in there, if you think pie crust, that you want it to be all through the sides of it and the bottom of the pan, then yeah, it works out pretty good. Just getting a little more bits of the meat in here to put up on the side. All right. So that's the basic concept. Push a little bit more in there. Doesn't have to be perfect. There. So that's fine. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get your pasta. And by now it should be almost done. You want it really al dente because it's going to cook in the oven. So let's see how this is. Of course, if you're using dried pasta, you have to cook a little bit longer. This was about 5 minutes. Come on, get out of there, one of you guys. Let's see if it's done. It's perfect. So then I use the spider. It's called the spider to take the pot to drain all the water out.
Absolutely.
All right. Just a little bit easier than getting a facial with all the water from the steam. And you have to make sure you, especially with fresh pasta, you want to make sure you heavily salt the water when you cook it. It should taste like seawater. It should have that kind of saltiness to it. If it doesn't, then this is the only chance that pasta gets to get a flavor to it is if you add the salt to the pasta. Right? Now what I have here is 4 different cheeses. I already cut them all up. It's ricotta, provolone, Munster, and what else is in there? Provolone, ricotta, and Munster. I think that's it. So we're going to put that right into the pasta. Okay. And then we want to put the sauce in. Now, the tomatoes you saw on the teaser video were made into this sauce the other day. So maybe just a little bit more.
Sauce, Father?
That's my sauce, yeah. I had a whole bunch of real good tomatoes. My garden was the best ever with tomatoes. And so I made sauce yesterday from that. So you turn it around so the cheese is going to start melting. It's going to melt while it's cooking as well.
So let's say hypothetically you only buy sauce from a jar and you don't make your own. Not that anyone in this room would ever do that.
Right.
Exactly.
But hypothetically, if you were, what type of sauce would you choose?
So my favorite bottled sauce is Rayo's.
Okay.
If you go to the market, you're going to find that Rao's sauce is more expensive.
Okay.
But it's worth it because it's good. But that would be my recommendation. Just bottled sauce will be fine. And if you go to specialty Italian stores, sometimes they have all these great sauces from Italy that they import, and try one of those.
Yeah.
But making it yourself isn't bad either, and you should try that one of these
Okay.
days.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Just give it a.
I'm not saying that I don't do that. I'm just
Right? No. I'm sure.
I would. Yeah.
For the people watching.
For the people watching.
Yes.
Just to
Yeah.
say.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just want to get that perfect. Okay, now you're going to let me get this again. Now you're going to put the macaroni inside the meatball, the big meatball. Now I already did one yesterday, so I'm going to take it out of the oven when I'm finished here. And Father Steve and Quint and Father Steve and myself are going to eat afterwards, but we're going to have a little bit of a taste, so you can see what it's like, so you can hear what it's like. And I told them no matter what it tastes like, it tastes good. So obviously you won't be able to believe whatever they say, but I think there's the cue cards right over your head. Right, then you press that down, okay?
So it goes right up to the top there.
Right up to the top, yeah, right up to the top. A little sauce left over, let's put this over here. And then what you want to do, get all this plastic out of the way, is you want to get the rest of the meat and you're going to roll it out for the top of the pie crust. Now hopefully this will be enough. If it isn't, we'll make it work.
So you need to set aside some of that right from the beginning.
Right, correct. So luckily, the top is going to be the bottom. So even if you don't have it perfectly covered, which this I might not have made enough meat, that it's the bottom, so it doesn't really matter. It's the top where all that prosciutto is and the rest of the meat that is going to be important.
Very forgiving.
I think you got it. It's good.
You think it's the right size? Yeah. Yeah, that should work. So then, as quick as possible, you put it right over on top. Then you gently bring back the parchment paper. Nice. Perfect. And then you just kind of stuff it in here. Again, this is going to be the bottom, so it doesn't matter if it's imperfect, okay?
Nice.
Okay, voila. So then what you do is you place it on a sheet pan, which every kitchen must have, and then you put aluminum foil over it, huh? Okay? And you want to do it tightly, okay? It goes into a 350-degree oven for a half hour. Then you take off the aluminum foil and you let it be for another 15 minutes. Now, I just happen to have one warming up in the oven.
Just like TV.
It's just like TV. But before I take it out of the oven, I'm going to pour myself a drink because I'm dying for a drink here. Give me one quick second. I had the ice all prepared. Now, this is a little shout out to Maria and Brett Rosato. They dropped off this bottle of Chattanooga whiskey. It's a straight bourbon whiskey from Tennessee, and they said I would like it. So I'm going to make it. Usually I make the Jack Daniels, as everybody who's on this show knows. But this time I'm going to do it this way. Let's see what it's like. This is that wonderful Italian vermouth that we found out in Italy when Father Steve and I were there last December. We discovered it, and it was pretty good.
There were several people with emojis reminding you to pour yourself a drink up.
Oh, thank you. They're good. We have good parishioners.
They're looking out for you.
God bless.
They're looking out for you.
And then, so I always like a little wedge of orange, but because it wasn't the Kentucky Derby this weekend,
It was.
all right? So,
It was.
so there's a mint leaf in there just as a shout out to Mint Juleps, which is the official drink of the Kentucky Derby. And there we go. Of course, as if you've watched these shows, I have like one or two sips. I just get so busy with this, but cheers. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Cheers. We can drink though.
That's right. So let me get out the other one, and hopefully it did what I wanted it to do. So, the great reveal, okay? So I put it in a dish like this, not too bad, not too hot. It's been kind of warming up. I made this yesterday, so it saves well. Let's see. See how the top? Mm-hmm. All right. So then you can serve it like this. I'm going to slice a small piece for Quent and Father Steve, just so they can see what it's like and you can see inside, but we're going to eat later. So, a knife here will work. And you can put fresh parsley on top. I put fresh parsley on top, except my parsley this summer didn't work out that good. Nor did my basil. So maybe just a little slice, hopefully. It's terrible when you have a show like this and you haven't sliced into it yet, so you don't even know what it's going to look like. So I'm hopeful that this is actually going to be good. It has the right texture to it. And to take it out with this.
Wow,
All right, looks great.
Isn't that nice? So since, there's a little bit more of the meat down the bottom. Take that out. So anyways, if you slice a bigger piece, you can probably see in the center, you can probably see how the macaroni has all gotten together. All right. So I'm going to cut this in half so I don't spoil their appetite for later. And see, I'm going to put a little more sauce on it. And then,
I don't think my appetite's ever been spoiled.
well, well, I know that, Quint.
That'd be a first.
So how many pounds of hamburger was that again?
So that was 2 pounds.
2 pounds.
I probably should use maybe
Thank
2 1/4. But again, as they say, the bottom becomes the top.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
top, so even if you don't have
So the
enough,
total amount
it's
is
fine.
Do you want to take one of these forks back? Do you need
Oh yes,
one?
well I was going to give one to Father.
Oh,
I
he
didn't
needs one.
eat off of it, so.
That's
Anyway.
good.
So anyway, so that's the way it looks, and it's a
What's
nice.
that, eat now? We're
You
good?
please
Clear
do.
hot? All right,
Yes,
sounds
please. See if you like it. I hope you like it.
Mm,
And I'll have a drink while you're waiting.
very good.
Phenomenal.
Nice. Isn't-
Very,
nice.
very good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Very
take the
tasty.
cue card down. I'll follow you.
All right. Yeah. Good. Yeah, you can mute the microphone now. We're good.
It's very good.
So it's funny for our cooking show today. The first 2 things take the longest, and the last 2 things we've done like 2 minutes, and then we'll have the drawing because I know you're all waiting for the drawing. That's what you're waiting for. If we had, is it good? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Really?
And I'm
Oh,
sure
good, yeah.
I could microwave this and eat it for
You
the
could.
whole week.
Well, you have to make it first, then you can microwave
That's the
it.
one.
So now what I'm going to do is make my stuffies. And I've never made them before until about 4 weeks ago. Somebody brought quail hogs, big quail hogs. I said, oh man, I should make some stuffies. So I did. And the 3 of us, Father Steve, and myself, had them, and they were
I have to say I've had these. They're awesome.
They're very, very
really
good. So just yesterday, parishioner Cliff McGovern, Cliff, are you watching? Cliff and Kathy brought us a whole bunch of quail hogs. I said, well, we're going to do this as well. So in the butter and oil, I have already chopped up onions, carrots, red pepper, yellow pepper, green pepper, parsley, and all goes right in there. And then you just mix it up. Huh? Nice. Cook it for a few minutes. Now, what I did earlier today was I did the quail hogs. So let me take these off here. And quail hogs are easy to clam, little necks, whatever. You just put them in a big pot, put a little water, wine, maybe a little clam juice, and then as soon as the shell opens, you take it out. So whether it's just the little necks or the quail hogs, as soon as the shell opens, you take it out. Otherwise, it gets rubbery, it gets tough. You just take it out, and then you can store it in the refrigerator, whatever, huh?
If
So
they don't open, they're no
they
good.
don't open, they're no good. Throw them out.
Yeah.
Or Give them to somebody you don't like or whatever.
To your worst friend.
To your worst friend, because they'll have problems for a few days. But the thing is, if they don't open, they're not going to get them open. So that's the thing. I mean, you could pry them open, but they won't be any good. So luckily, all 26 opened. So we were lucky. All right, then I'm going to spice it up a little bit. I like to spice it up with the Chipotle Tabasco. I've used this before. This has more of a smoky taste than a hot vinegary taste. And you're going to say, oh, Father, you're really putting way too much in, but I'm really not. It's really good, all right? So that was about, I don't know, 3 tablespoons. Italians, we don't measure, right? We just put it in, make it look like it's good, huh? Okay. While that's cooking up, I'm going to show you what else I did. Is I got 1 whole loaf of ciabatta bread, and I put it under the broiler, and turned brown, obviously. And then I chopped up one already. Let me chop up the other, and that's going to go in there as well. And so you want to chop it into cubes. And I just slice it down the middle. Do I have enough room here? Sure. Slice it down the middle. Father Steve, watch my the onions. Make sure they don't go crazy. May turn down a little bit. All right. I'm going to slice it again. And again. Oops. Then lengthwise. And what I do, if I hold it really tight together so they can get real small cubes of the bread. I'm tempted to eat one of these right now because I can smell it's an olive oil ciabatta. It's an olive oil ciabatta. So, and I think that's probably going to be enough for this. So, now the next thing I want to do is put the chorizo in. So, with this one, this is already cooked chorizo, so you don't have to worry about it cooking. You just want to kind of warm it up. Smell good?
Wonderful.
Smells great.
And then I'm going to put the clams in. In they go. Now, when I made the clams today, I also had broth I made because I put clam juice in, wine, water, stuff like that. And then you have to clarify the juice. So I used cheesecloth, huh? So I'm going to put in the ciabatta right now. Thank you, Father. You bring it, yeah, if you want to bring it right over here, thank you. Very good.
Father, just a clarification, that was pre-cooked chorizo,
Pre-cooked chorizo. You buy it at Stop and Shop in the meat market. It's already been cooked.
2 pounds?
That was about 1.25 pounds.
Okay.
All right. And I think I have plenty over here. I think maybe I had too much.
For the pepper mixture, was it like 1 pepper of each color and then some
So you know what I
celery?
did? If you go to the store, you find them already chopped up.
Mm-hmm.
And at Stop and Shop, they have what's called an omelette mix. And so they have chopped up red peppers, green peppers, red onions, and yellow peppers. I just bought that.
one packet of that?
But I would say 1 of each
Okay.
would be fine. Yeah. All right. So now you want to moisten this. This is where the homemade clam juice comes in. So I'm going to put about half in. Let's see what happens. Shut that right now. So it moistens right up. I just going to need some more juice. So the bread will soak up the juice, and it will be all ready. Now, one of the great things about Stuffies is you can make them and then freeze them. And you can just take them out and just zap them in the microwave for about 90 seconds. Is that the time we did it the other day? And they come out perfect. In fact, that's what we're going to do. I have one over there that I took out of the freezer. I'm going to share that so they can taste it, and it should be pretty good.
It's probably easier to make a bigger batch like this.
Oh, sure.
And freeze them.
Oh, yeah. So if you want to take a look at that, let me put this in the microwave right now.
So you said you had 26 whole hogs, and then was that about 4 cups of clam juice? Is that what you poured in there?
That was probably 4 cups.
Okay.
4 cups. I actually made more, but I froze the rest. I have probably another 2 or 3 cups that I was able to make from that. Okay. Cool. And then now what you do is you actually save the clams itself. Let me put them over here. Thank you, Robert. And there we go. That is perfect. And then I'm just going to right in, press it in there. Okay. I'm going to make 8 so that later on we can have them. And I'll just save the rest and I'll stuff them later on. Okay. All right. But it has a nice smell to it, huh?
Very good, yeah.
Very good.
Smells great. Almost. There we go. All right.
This is a nice version instead of all the breadcrumb with the chopped bread.
Exactly.
It's really nice.
Exactly. Well, when I looked up a recipe, the one I found was one that had all the breadcrumbs, and I said, let me make this, huh?
Yeah, that's really
So, all right. Let me see if I can undo this wrap here. Nice. Perfetto. So guys, if you want to I'll give you this. That. If you want to try, take some out and put in the dish. There's some lemon for you to squeeze and a little more Tabasco. Any questions from our live stream audience? No questions have come up, Father? No?
Just the one about the chorizo.
The chorizo, yep.
They've been attentively watching.
Sure. So then I'll stuff the rest of these later, and then I'll wrap them in plastic. And you just kind of put the plastic wrap over it, twist the bottom, and then once they cool down, put them in the freezer, and you're good to go.
lemon and some of this stuff.
What do you think? Decent?
That is very good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
How about the spice? The chipotle. It's not too hot, but
You get the smokiness, but not a lot of the spice.
Not a lot.
It's very good.
you know, Father Steve and I have had these before, so these are decent, huh?
There you go.
It's good, yeah. And you've been asking me how I made them, so now you see.
No,
so
I saw it.
now you can go
I saw
tomorrow
it-
on Facebook.
I saw it all live.
I saw it all live. So very good. All righty. Good. You're putting more. That's good. All right. So
I just figured, you know, took a couple bites without it. I'll put a little bit extra on there. See what it's
Excellent,
like.
excellent. All righty. So now the next thing I want to do, we're going to come right over here. What I want to do now is a tomato and watermelon salad. And it's really very, very easy, especially if you get watermelon already cut up, which I did. Stop and Shop, it's the best thing. So this calls for about a cup and a half of watermelon, and I'm serving 4 people. So it's just regular watermelon, all cut up very nicely. All right. Put a little bit more in. Fine. And then what I'm going to do is these are some of the tomatoes from that you people saw online yesterday when I advertised the show. I'm going to get that other knife, which is a much better knife. Where'd that go? Right here. So you slice them up, and so the tomatoes go in with the watermelon. And you might think, oh, gee, that's kind of crazy, but the taste is really, really good. So one more here.
I could eat that with a
They won't know.
Yeah.
They will never know we
No.
took all this.
No, not at all.
They're plotting to take everything away from us here. All right, so the tomatoes go in with the watermelon. In fact, I'm going to put a few more pieces of watermelon in there. And then what you want is fresh mint. And luckily, if you grow fresh mint, it'll take over your house, your home, your garden, your garage,
Kids.
and it goes like crazy, huh? And so fresh mint goes in on top. Nice. And then feta cheese. There. And then it calls for sliced onions. I make my own. I marinate them in vinegar, but it just calls for regular sliced onions, thinly sliced. So I'm going to put some of these of my own in. That's been sitting in olive oil and vinegar for a few days. Good. And you're done. The dressing is a white balsamic. You've probably heard of the regular balsamic. This is a white balsamic. Has a sweeter, sweetish kind of taste. Olive oil, salt, and pepper. And that's it. Put it right over the salad. And it's done. Mix it up. And we'll give the troops over there who are waiting patiently for a taste of this. Yeah, we have the thing here for you. I think I put 2 dishes out here. Nice.
Yeah.
There. A little of the feta cheese on top of there. Watermelon, tomato, the mint, feta cheese, and we are good. There we go. Something like that.
Thank you.
All righty. Let me get your fork here.
Now, did you say these are your tomatoes? The
Tomatoes.
last of your tomatoes.
Yeah, the last.
Season.
I've got a few green ones left,
Quick season. This is it.
but they were really the best tomatoes I've ever made. Ever grown. Yeah. Well, I got some advice from Father Jonathan D. Felice's brother, Ralph, who might be watching tonight, about how to water tomatoes. And you should really just let God water them. But if it gets really dry, then you water them from below. You don't like stand over and spray the water, because otherwise the bottom of the tomatoes would turn black, and that's what I was having the difficulty with the bottoms of the tomatoes turning black.
Huh.
So, yeah. All right, so I want to just uncover the timbale now. That's been about a half hour, I think. What do you think, Father? About a half hour? And now we'll go for another 15 minutes. So what do you think of that salad, guys?
Very tasty.
Is it good? Kind of a nice summer salad.
Mm-hmm.
It's all gone. Look at that.
Simple.
That's right.
It was easy.
Very good.
And delicious.
And delicious. Good. Yeah, it's actually very. I mean, if you buy the watermelon all chopped up, it's really good with the fresh tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
But in the wintertime, grape tomatoes would actually work.
Sure.
Because they're the freshest tasting tomatoes in the winter. And now finally, the dessert. I'm going to go over here for our final stand. So this is strawberries. Strawberries, and it's marinating in balsamic, dark balsamic, and black pepper, and a little sugar. So it has to marinate for an hour. So I couldn't do it for you, but it's maybe this is a couple cups of maybe 3 cups of strawberries. It's a 2 or 3 tablespoons of balsamic, a tablespoon of sugar, and then a pinch or 2 of black pepper. And you just let it marinate. And then you could just serve that in a bowl for dessert. What I'm going to do is I'm going to serve it on this angel food cake that Father Steve Salapini made the other night. Father, this is Lydia Bastianich, and it has like it has like lots of eggs, and you have to turn the whites. Is that what you have to do? Because I've never made angel food.
It's simple, yeah. It's just egg whites, basically.
No.
Yeah.
So I'm going to slice a small piece of this so that the guys can try it. There we go. I'm not going to put the strawberries on top. I'm going to kind of put them on the side. Again, I don't want to ruin their appetite here for everything. But usually, if I would do this, I'd put the strawberries all around. So I'm just going to put a little bit. And then I'm going to put a raspberry balsamic glaze on it. So this you can buy in the store from Modena, and it's already cooked down so it becomes a glaze. And you can get very Andy Warhol-ish and just do something like that. It almost looks like it's chocolate, but it's a vinegar. All right. And then you put a little bit of mint on the side, just for decoration, which is nice. And I don't know, maybe a dollop of whipped cream. What do you think, Father? Sure, go crazy. Just to say. I'd make my own whipped cream, but really this is a lot easier, getting the bottle from the refrigerator. And there you have it. Guys, why don't you try this? See if you like it.
All right, thank you.
It looks nice.
It does. And I would have thought that the balsamic was chocolate sauce if you hadn't said something.
Yes.
You could have fooled me.
Could have fooled me. What do you think?
Very, very good.
Very
So
good.
it's kind of strange. It's like vinegar and black pepper,
Right.
but it does work.
It does.
It's
does.
like when I did
Sure.
that. I think I did that once. That was the recipe you showed me, Father Steve, with the watermelon and the this black pepper, black salt, Himalayan black salt,
Yes.
and the mint with the feta cheese. You know, so
Very good.
decent, huh?
Very, very good.
Cool.
Yep. Excellent.
Very good. Well, so that's the food for tonight. The first 2 things took a little while. The last 2 things didn't take that long. And we're going to actually head outside right now and light my little chimenea stove on fire. And we're going to draw the raffle. We're going to see who's become $1,700 richer. Now, you have to realize you can't come running here in 5 minutes to pick up the check. You got to wait till tomorrow morning. And it's the 50-50 raffle went very, very well. In fact, the longest running feast ever, going from the first event on May 3rd to these final events, and now the silent auctions coming up. It's just thank everybody for the support of how we had to do it this year, and it was tremendous. The religious events, the food events, these events, and now somebody's going to be $1,700 richer, so that's great. So shall we head outside, gentlemen?
Of course.
And Quentin, you're going to do the honors of drawing the winning ticket. So
Oh, wow. All right, you didn't tell me that ahead of time.
Yes, no, I
didn't
didn't. I didn't.
No pressure.
That's
Yes, yes.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay.
Mine has some gum on the back, so when you draw it.
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
So let me tell you a funny. What time is it? We're doing good. A funny story, and then we'll go out and draw it. Let's go outside. We'll draw it. We'll light the fire, and I'll tell you the funny story about Quent's graduation from Villanova. Come on outside.
I finished mine, so that's, I need to be.
not good. Well,
I need to focus on pulling the drawing drawings.
Be careful, there's a ditch here. So Quent, would you put that sign up over there? Let's see if we can light this fire. It'll be easy to light. So I think those of you who are here for the last show, you saw this Chimea stove, which we just love. We've been using it all summer. And it lights up really quickly. In fact, Father Steve Salapini got one for himself as well. And let's hope it does us good today by lighting up very, very quickly. So you think it's lit there, guys? What do you think?
Looks lit. I can see you got both corners going.
Yeah. Let's get that front going. Good. All right. So let me tell you the story about Quent Dickman's graduation from Villanova. Quent was in ROTC, and so he invited me down for his graduation, and never been to Villanova. Great university town. Went down, his family was there, a whole bunch of people, and it rained on the graduation. Graduation at Villanova is always outside. Anybody can go. It's was it a stadium or a field or whatever, so anyways, but it was pouring rain, horrible rain. First time in 32 years, I think, right? Didn't they? Some people said
It was.
yeah. So at the morning mass, the graduation mass, where you were commissioned as an officer, is that
That's
what
right.
happened?
Yep.
The president of the university is there. And so Quent said, yeah, Father, I'll try to get you into the graduation. I only get two tickets. It's for my parents. I said, okay. So president comes in, very nice man. Father introduced me because I was celebrating the mass. And Quent said, do you think we can get Father a ticket? And the president said, oh, no, I'm so sorry, but no, there's only 2 tickets allowed for each graduate, and of course you have to sit up in the boondocks and the rafters, and you can't march in, so no, Father, you'll have to watch it on live stream in the hall. I said, oh, okay, well, that's fine, no problem. So the president leaves, and I turned to Quent and I said, I'll get in. Watch me. I'll get in. Pouring rain. So the mass was over, finished with the mass, waiting in my car. I'm thinking, how am I going to get in? I thought, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I had my collar on. I said, I'm going to wait till about 2 minutes to 2 and then walk to the front door and say, oh, I forgot my ticket. But my collar was on. I figured that would be my ticket. So that was my plan. Pouring rain, I figured they'll let me in, the poor priest. So I'm walking to the front door, and on one of the side doors, one of the security people said, oh, Father, come in this door here. It's pouring rain. I said, oh, okay. So I walked in. Oh, Father, isn't it? I said, it's the first time in 32 years. Oh, I know. They're all the priests are gathering over there for the procession in. I said, I forgot all my robes. I said, I'm just going to go sit. And, oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. So I walked into the big auditorium, whatever it is, the big field house. And there's another policeman who said, oh, Father, they're gathering over there. I said, nah, I forgot my stuff.
That was actually Secret Service.
Secret Service.
It was Secret Service because Jill Biden was the speaker.
Jill Biden was the speaker.
Service.
That's a Secret Service.
Yeah, it was not policeman.
And I said, I just want to, I'm just going to say, oh, Father, I got a place for you. Leads me right down the center aisle, and there I am, right on the aisle. So I text Quent. I said, Quent, where are you? He said, well, I'm inside. Where are you? I said, I'm on the center aisle. Stand up and wave. He stands up and waves. I see him. I said, well, look where I am. He said, how did you do that? I said, I'll tell you afterwards. So anyways, the graduation ceremony goes fine. At the end, they announce, now nobody can leave because Dr. Jill Biden has to leave first because of security. Well, I got up and I left. And all the security said, oh, bye, Father. See you later, Father. Isn't that nice? So outside, they had another tent set up where they had hors d'oeuvres. And we were supposed to go there first. So I walked to the hors d'oeuvre tent. Nobody was there. They just put all the hors d'oeuvres out. He said, oh, Father, have some hors d'oeuvres. So I had some hors d'oeuvres. And I went, all right. So the crab rangoon was really good. So I leave, and I said, well, I'll go to the party where his parents were staying afterwards, and I'll just wait because it was still kind of raining. Well, I get back to the hotel I was staying. I get a text from Quint saying, Father, where you are, the lines are incredible under the tent for the food. He said, oh, it's really good. Have the crab rangoon. I'm already back at the hotel having a drink. And so, in any case, that's my Quint Dickman Villanova story, and it's all true, huh?
That's right. That's all true.
All true. All true. So, anyways, we have the 50-50 raffle. We got our fire going here, $3,570. It's the prize is $1,785, and we're going to have Quint draw the raffle. Let's turn this around a few times, and let's make sure all the tickets are off. Some of them stick to the top, so make sure those are all down. All right. Quint, there's a lot of people whose hopes and dreams are so you can't look. You can't look, and we're going to see who wins the prize. All righty. And the winner is, the last name is KZ 2531899. So we have a number of people with that last name, I think. So KZ, you have won $1,785. Congratulations. So thank you all for joining us this evening. Thanks for our celebrity diners. A little salute to the Navy tonight, and we appreciate all you've done for our feast and our parish. So God bless, and we hope you enjoyed our evening. Take care.